have here is effectively this coupling is too loose in the shaft. Under lots of conditions this will simply come off. A coupling on a marine shaft should be a press fit. In other words, you should use about a 1 pound hammer to put it on. This will simply cause problems. It will keep flexing and slowly and surely wear away the bolts, the securing bolts, and distort the shaft, and that's exactly what happened to you. As I flex the coupling, you can see the clearance at the front. It appears to be about a 32nd of an inch. My diagnosis is that the coupling was machined oversized from day one. Between the coupling and the shaft, you are going to run into trouble within 20 or 30 hours. The key will shear, and the shaft will come out anytime you try to go astern. Retaining screws have just danced around the shaft effectively. It appears that this shaft was probably reused. It was probably off some other boat, or else it was the original shaft here and they simply reused it when they changed the engine from a Volvo to the Yanmar. If you can help it, when buying a boat, try and avoid a vessel with a V-drive. There are a couple of reasons for that. One, it's more difficult to get at the stuffing box and adjust it. Two, it's more difficult to see what's going on with the shaft. Alignment is a more difficult thing to achieve correctly. Three, the shaft coupling always seems to give slightly more problems, statistically wise, than a regular straight inline shafting arrangement. You're effectively going down at an angle underneath the engine, so everything's under more stress. The stuffing box for some reason fails. Maybe the packing hose clamp suddenly fail, you get major water ingress. It would be very difficult to stop it under this arrangement. You'd better be comfortable that your bilge pumps can handle the water intake until you can get to a port. Be careful we don't go over, and try and figure out where we're touching. And there. See, just at that point we're hitting. Look, see? There and there. So that's what I'll file away first. My aim is to pull the minimum metal off this shaft. And here. Now we'll try the shaft again, and it's just a repetition of that. Yes, I've got two sets of files, one set for stainless steel and one set for mild steel and other work. You do not want to embed mild steel particles in stainless steel. Two sets of cuts on it. Cross cut, bump. You have single cut files, you got cross cut files. Cross cut files will remove material faster. This type of mechanic fitting, it's called fitting in Europe, where you're fitting components together. This technology is nearly it's a craft, and it's nearly gone from this country. Wow. Kids have to use machines every time to do anything, true? They won't sit down with a set of files and do this type of thing. See, there's your output. You were taught this in Europe 20 years ago when you did a mechanical apprenticeship. Here they don't teach this sort of thing. In theory they're two round circles. In reality they're not if you measure them. See, look, this goes on more one way than the other way. See? That's typical because machines vibrate, machines are mounted, different machines produce this. What we want to do is just pull the minimum possible metal off this. I can take off my gloves to understand what's going on. Whereas the machine shop manager knew exactly what I was talking about. Why I was doing it this way. Look at the distortion downstream, but that's typical of drilling. See, now It doesn't make any difference in normal use, but when we're fitting it to a shaft like that, that pushing of the metal created two high spots. See it? The bluing shows it exactly up. Do not use cheap key material. Go to a marine supply shop and get proper shaft key material. All sharp edges should be removed on it, because effectively when you're cutting the keyway, they do not cut a perfect 90-degree slot on it. You want this key to fit perfectly in the keyway, but with a slight slide. Torque, not hold. Use proper key material. It's called key stock. Buy it from a reputable marine supply shop. Try and avoid using brass material unless your shaft is bronze. Make sure the key material you get is a correct size and it fits snugly within the keyway. All sharp edges are removed and it is not sitting on the edges, but it's sitting on the flat surfaces. When they machine a keyway, the surfaces are not exactly at 90 degrees. You may end up having to file it to make it fit perfectly. But effectively you want the key to slide in and out of the keyway without too much pressure. Our aim for this key is that it can slide in and out by finger touch. The key should not be holding anything at the end of the day. It's just to take the torque up. It's transmitted by a number of things. Primarily by the fit of the coupling on the shaft. It should be a tight fit. The key is simply there as a safety factor and to transmit the torque. On the shaft is extremely important if you want to transmit your torque, the engine torque, to the propeller in the most efficient manner. Feeling is the end here to see if there's a shift. It's offset. I don't mind a tiny bit of shift, it's not doing any harm. Of course, our stummies have not checked that this fits in here. Let's check this next, that there isn't a misalignment issue. You gotta look. It's also very important that these shaft lock bolts have holes in them so you can put wire through to lock it. Some manufacturers don't give you the bolts with the holes in them. Replace them with holes so that you can wire this up. It's a very important safety measure, especially going astern where the tendency is to pull the shaft out of the coupling. The first one, you know, you get so used to things you go blind on it.
Been good. Alright, I wanted to just get the video's going, so smile. Sea trial.
Yep. Feels good. This is the best place to stand on a boat to feel boat vibration on a boat this size. My feet are feeling the vibration up through here.
Really?
Of all the places I've found over the years, this is the best.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason it just resonates it nicely.
Pull it back. Pull it back. Reverse. Going to the back.